Hey everybody, this is Rydo, and we're back with another recording session of Hearthstone. Let's see, we've got one quest here to trade out. Paladin and Warrior. Let's see, is the 60. This is the right one to trade. And good, it didn't give me a watch and learn, because that would have been annoying. Also, not annoying, very happy, is somebody sent me a friend request a couple days ago. And so they get accepted. That is rewarded. I don't know if it was somebody I played or if it was somebody who's a fan of my show. But now I have one more friend of the list of friends here that might actually be on, so I can do the watch and learn quests. I guess for today we will play. I guess we'll stick with. Let's see. How about Hunter and Warrior? How about that? Yeah. That sounds good. We only have to play on casual. We've got up to ranked 20 already, so for the rest of the month I am free there. The third week of the League of Explorers came and I totally screwed that up. I mean, there's really not even that much to say about it. I overslept and then I had to do something else, so I wasn't able to record anything until 3.5, 4 hours after the expansion came out. And because it took 3.5, 4 hours, I don't know how long, to get the very first video out, there was considerably less views. In the previous weeks I've gotten 50, 60 views on that one day, and the views don't come at all, as far as I've seen. It's hard to kind of keep an eye on it after the first few days, but I don't think it really grows after that. So I probably lost somewhere around less than 100, but more than 20 views because of oversleeping and just screwing up. Part of this is the fact that the games get released at noon Central Time in the United States, it seems, or at least to me. They get released at noon Central Time. And because of that, you have to record things and have them out at noon, which is really strange. Normally speaking, you would have games come out at midnight, or maybe 6 or 10 in the morning, or 6 or 10 in the evening, depending on how popular the game is. Midnight releases, if there is going to be any specific time for releases, is the most common. But so on top of having to do the League of Explorers really late, I am now the very next day having to do more Hearthstone. It's annoying. Almost as annoying as the fact that this guy is not playing. See if we can wake him up. He's not playing. Keep our eyes on here, see if he highlights anything. I mean, it's not inherently terrible that a guy wouldn't be playing. It's just slightly annoying. So, this is a terrible way to start a recording session. Let's see, we'll throw this guy out too. Now if anything happens to these guys, they'll both get improved. Problem is I have no way to kill these characters myself. Really wouldn't need to do that usually. Well, this will be an easy victory. But yeah, I'm just not getting a break as far as Hearthstone, and I am not getting a break. I don't know if I've mentioned it, I'm going through Lego The Complete Saga, Lego Star Wars The Complete Saga, which is it's a long name, so I get some of it. I'm trying to go through that, I'm trying to record it, and it's almost 100% of every video is getting content ID. Now I need to get these videos out in less than 18 days, so if I was to sit here... Oh, finally he starts to play. Did this guy just want a challenge? Is that what he's doing here? He's gonna have to pull off some miracle here if he wants to actually survive this next turn. Yeah, that's not gonna save him. I don't think there's enough cards. There's a card in his deck that would save him from this. I don't know if there's a card in the game that would save him from this.
Checkmate. Well done.
Well, that made it pretty easy. So we were doing Hunter and who? Warrior. That's who I thought I said, but I wasn't sure. I've also noticed that the newest versions of Hearthstone, I believe, are not working with Hearthstone Deck Tracker. Hearthstone Deck Tracker needs to update itself to be compatible, to regain compatibility. The League of Explorers cards were not getting tracked. We'll watch this here and see if it's working or not.
Garrosh versus Garrosh.
I may also, there may be cards in this deck because I've changed it and I didn't update the deck. I don't know how I could have really done that, but it's possible. So So here we have like a touring warrior, and over here if you look at the touring warrior, it's one is missing, I guess, but the other isn't. Maybe they just changed how it looks and I'm just not understanding the new change. Maybe I only have one Bone Guard Lieutenant and that's why that's darkened out completely. But there should be gold too, shouldn't it? Well, it was gold for a second, then it stopped being. I may have to just reteach myself to understand the Hearthstone deck tracker, and it may actually be working. Although I'm pretty sure that there are at least a few bugs in it. We've been seeing a lot of bugs as far as just recent Hearthstone versions itself, where quests and things just don't complete when they're supposed to. They'll complete on the next game for no reason. So yeah, I'm getting no break on Lego Star Wars. I need to just power through it, so I'm hoping I can get some of that done today. I'm past episode 4, so if I can really put my nose to the grindstone and get episode 5 and 6 done, story mode, that's really helpful. Then I could start playing everything in free play mode to get the collectibles. I probably will use a little bit of a walkthrough just to make sure I have the right power bricks that I need. But after that, I think I'll mostly not do that. Let's see. This guy has +3 attack.
Bring it on.
The right move is to hit the face. Because this guy has Wind Fury, he'll hit this once, hit it twice, and die. If he did that. Or he'll do something like that. Here we go. This.
Perfect.
Kill this guy. And end the turn. So I could play this. And I could play this. And I want to play this because each one of these will add an attack. Let's see. However, we need to do something here to protect this guy. Kill this guy as it stands. That means I'm gonna just have one more attack of this. Job done. Next turn I can bring this guy out and do this, and
magic detected.
That will work quite nicely. Not as nicely as I would have liked, but it will work.
Back to work.
Right now, Shadow Complex Remastered is free, but it has a slight caveat that you have to sign up for the Epic Launcher, which is the Unreal. Darn it. Ooh, this is
on guard.
Not how I would have liked that.
Defend yourself.
So you have to install the Epic Launcher and sign up for an account with Epic, which, you know what? Shadow Complex Remastered, unless it's significantly different from the Shadow Complex original that I played, is worth giving your email to people, I think. Wanna do this?
Ready to flee.
I want to do
back to work.
This. That that was a dumb move. So I can continue powering this thing up, but I need to kill it. Kill this guy too. Ooh.
Defend yourself!
Let's just do the best we can, I suppose. So I will be covering Shadow Complex pretty soon, but not like right when it comes out. But since I'm installing the Epic Launcher, and that means you can simply install the Unreal Engine and run the demos, and so it will be an interesting spotlight I want to do, and I think I can get that out pretty fast, where I will just run A Boy and His Kite, which is the name of the demo, and see how my computer runs it versus the pre-rendered footage that was shown, I believe, at E3.
No problem.
Stop moving!
But I can't really do any of that until I get the Lego Star Wars. At least the first story mode done. And it is just going to be this weird situation where I have two choices. I can either stop fighting the fact that I deserve that it's fair use and should be able to use the things that they're claiming ownership on, or I can just take out damage my video and take out the audio and release it like that. Technically I could do both, but if I did both, then the number of views that I get, that I'm most likely going to get when I release the videos, will not be transferable to the other video that would be less audio messed up. And that's, if you've been on YouTube a lot, you might see things like that where people put links on their annotations and links on their videos where going, this is the better version, come over here, this is the unedited version, and stuff like that. And some of that is content ID.
Let the hunt begin. Bring it on!
So, I don't know, I need to get all of the videos out pretty fast. I'm gonna keep everything. This is gonna be a little risky play. But yeah, I need to start scheduling things and start releasing things.
Job's done.
Regardless of where they are at. Because there is, the reason of course is because Star Wars is about to come out, and there's going to be a lot of interest in Star Wars, and there's a lot of interest in Star Wars right now, so I should be releasing it right now. As far as the scheduling goes, I looked at the schedule again. I don't think that if I want to get these videos out at any reasonable time that I have a choice. I think I'm gonna have to end up putting it in a good new time slot. Come on, give me charge. Darn it. I almost never win these. Today feels like a good day for Hearthstone. Though, so far so good. I think we've won twice already, so that'd be fine. I mean, I need more Hearthstone episodes. I definitely need them. I'm eventually gonna run out if I'm not careful. But also I need more free time. And those are two things that are just contradicting each other over and over again. Let's see. Let's see what this is. Darn it. But not too bad. Let's see, play this, and then play this. Hey, I got another card. Not a very good card. Is this in our... Yeah, it is. I don't know if I talked about the Lego Star Wars. Once I did episode 4, it definitely felt a lot better of a game compared to 1, 2, or 3.
Well played.
Feels like they spent more effort on there.
Well fought. I can see.
Great. The real problem that is going to occur with Lego games is that I'm gonna probably burn myself out pretty fast on Lego games, but I have potentially 4 other games that I could play just right now, but that's all gonna take time, and adding a new time slot permanently doesn't seem like something I really want to do. Maybe that will be the floating time slot that's just like, if there is a super young kids game that I'm gonna cover, 3 o'clock sounds right. And I certainly have thought about that. I'm not sure if it's the way I personally should go, or if it's the way people in YouTube video game critics should go at all, is to cover young games, because there's a lot of kids games that probably somebody needs to cover, but does that somebody need to be me, or should that somebody be me, is the question. Because I tend to skew towards the mature games, although I don't sit here and cuss, or I don't cuss that much. Not because I have a problem with it, it's just, it doesn't, I mean, I've seen some YouTubers that sit there and they just cuss non-stop, and it sounds horrible to me. It sounds just horrible to my ear. It sounds unintellectual. It sounds like they don't have anything to it. I will much be happier just sitting here saying the wrong words like "be happier" and going and over sitting here and just cussing and doing the exact same thing. Yes, I'll fully admit I'm not the best speech person in the world. Obviously, I can't even think of the words. But it's not also an active effort. So if it were appropriate, or even somewhat relevant, or even somewhat funny, I would cuss. It's just often it isn't. Often it just comes out of left field. Plus, I did cover The Witcher 3, which is full of nudity, and which I edited. It's not full of it, but it has a lot of it, and I had to edit all that out. Let's try this.
Stop moving!
Job's done.
Darn it. Was trying to see if that was an explosive trap. Turned out it wasn't. Okay.
Back from the junkie.
Let's see. What should we do? We have 1-5.
Battle detected.
Job's done.
There we go. Now if this one attacks this one, then I can then attack this one in the next turn. If this one attacks this one, then I can attack with this one over there. Next turn, if this one attacks the face, then I would have to use both to destroy this guy next turn. If he doesn't summon or play anything, I'm fine. If he does play or summon something, I will have to deal with that when I see it. Alright, so that's not good.
I enjoy raiding.
With a poison touch, my Exna creature here, we have a bit of a problem there. Let's see. This and this.
High tide.
So this guy is gonna get killed by my Exna, almost certainly. Unless he just considers Mukla's champion such a great threat. Darn it! Wow! What a play! Let's play this.
To flee.
Let's play this.
Try this.
Oh, I could have powered this guy up a little bit more too. So I assume my Exna is gonna kill this character. Nope. My Exna is giving me quite a lot of trouble, actually.
Ready to flee.
done.
There we go. Finally. And finally we turn this around, back on track. So, the big problem of making a newer, earlier slot for the Lego Star Wars is that something inevitably is getting pushed back. Mirror's Edge, Dishonored, or an independent game in our independent game time slot is getting pushed back further because of this. It has to be. It's just the way things.
They all bend to my command.
Battle commencing.
So, Ragnaros cannot attack, but at the end of his turn he does 8 damage to a random bad guy. So, I don't want him to hit this guy. Of course, now he's got 2 of them. Okay, this sucks.
May my ancestors.
Let's see. Alright.
Job's done.
So, if these 2 hit my face, I lose. Because that would do 16 damage. If one of them hits here, that's fine. I want 1 to hit here, but if 2 hits there, that's bad. So I need 1 to hit here, and then 1 to hit here or here. And him not to be able to do anything else. That's fine. That's fine. I pulled this out, I do this, and I win. So we are having an incredible lucky streak. I don't know particularly why that is, but that is good. So we'll play one more game for Hunter this time, and then that will be it. I suppose I can get Shadow Complex recorded after I do Star Wars, maybe, and then squeeze that in the independent games slot, so there won't be any reason why that game would get in there. Oh, I have buried the lead terribly. Alright, so
Rexa.
there's been several things that have happened, and I'm not really followed the video game news that much. But the Video Game Awards, or whatever it is now happened. Konami apparently legally told Kojima that under his contract, which just an exit clause, he was not legally allowed to go pick up an award for his own game. Probably because he doesn't work for the company anymore, so I don't know. You could go either way with that. You could say, well, his work contract specifically stated that he couldn't do this, and that's why wasn't allowed to go, or you could say it was because he doesn't work for the company anymore, and even though Konami, last I heard, was still claiming he does, that if you don't work for a company, you can't go represent the company. I would. So, yeah, it's ridiculousness with that, and Konami is garbage, and everyone knows it. So whatever. Not hardly even really big news. That's hardly even that Konami is gonna do the same things that everyone knows and expects from it.
Job's done.
But Double Fine, and luckily for me, I bought the Double Fine bundle, so at least I have Psychonauts 1, has announced on the new Kickstarter-like platform called Fig, which is somewhat started and funded by the guy who runs Double Fine, so no real surprise that he was going to do this eventually. He has announced some kind of Kickstarter for Psychonauts 2. Lots of people have funded it. He wants $3.3 million. The problem in my mind, and I know already it has been proven that some people are not going to think this through, but the problem in my mind is I am not sure Double Fine can make games anymore. This is an argument I've made before, but I'm just not sure that the people who made games 10, 15 years ago I'm not sure all of them have stayed up with the technology and
The gates are open.
can do it. We haven't seen much out of Double Fine anytime lately. Broken Age was the last thing that was released, and it was a point-and-click adventure that had some really difficult puzzles, things that you should have known to avoid those pitfalls in the beginning. And yet, Broken Age was sold in 2 parts, and part 2 was way late, and overall the game was just kind of meh. The second half wasn't very well received. So even if they get funded on Fig, and I'll talk about Fig in a second too,
Get behind me.
there's no guarantee that a good game is going to come out of that when all is said and done. In fact, I see every opportunity that there won't be a good game there. Alright. So that's my fear. That is true for Double Fine. I'm not sure anybody at Double Fine can make games. That is true at Valve. I'm not sure anybody in Valve can make a game these days. That is true at Cyan Worlds. The creators have missed. In fact, I'm pretty sure at Cyan World none of them can make a game these days, but they're trying, so we'll see. If Kickstarter hadn't come about, none of these companies would have probably ever made another game. Because the people that fund games and actually know something about actually getting a game made have shot down those ideas again and again and again. They get them pitched all the time, and they get shot down in favor of games like Call of Duty, in favor of games like Destiny, which also have their problems. And sometimes, you're right, people can be wrong about and should have funded some things, but sometimes they just know what they're talking about too. They have the market research. They know that people buy Call of Duty and they don't buy Psychonauts. I don't believe Psychonauts sold very well, and yet it is a cult hit. So it's a fan favorite now. But are there enough fans that they'll make enough money back that they could make their next game? and I don't know if that's true. I guess what I'll do is I'll talk about Fig. Fig is a financial nightmare of investing, because I can just quickly explain it. Basically, if you invest on Fig over, I believe, $10,000, then you are eligible to own stocks in a shell company that is somehow legally written in the way that you will have no real controlling interest, and they can sell as many stocks as they want, and and you are sort of an investor in a shell company, but if the game sells, the game doesn't sell, you have no recourse to liquidate the assets or get the money back in either way, because the shell company is specifically for that one game too. So it's not like you would be buying stocks in Double Fine and potentially have a controlling interest in Double Fine, and you could go to Double Fine's office and sell their computers and their desks if the game fails. No, you're just investing in this shell company that has no assets whatsoever and only gets profits after it covers its costs. Then you get some percentage back, which I don't know if it's a weird middle of the ground thing. If you have enough money where you're investing $10,000 in a company, you probably should just invest in Double Fine, for example, and get some controlling interest and actually have some say and actually have some legal recourse to do it. And you probably shouldn't be investing in video game companies if you are just going to speculatively invest in companies, because if you have that much money, you should have more legal recourses and safety. And Fig is literally just a system designed to create shell companies and also get rid of Kickstarter as be a competitor to Kickstarter. That way there's no cuts going to Kickstarter for the small investors, because there can be small investors who won't own any of the company and are just going to be donating small amounts of things too. So the whole thing smells a little fishy. Basically, if you were a smart investor, you would not invest on Fig, and that's inherently the problem with it, isn't it? If you want people to invest, you shouldn't give them a bad offer, and that's what it is. Anywho, that's going to be it for this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment if you want to, and watch every second of my videos. All that helps me out. Looks like we might get this done in 2 or 3 episodes. If you want to support me, you can click on my name, Rydo. On the right will be a blue button that says support this channel. Click it and make a donation. And if you want to friend or follow me on basically any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.